Lisa Luca reporting from Foreave Stars International, part 2 of the story Our America by Lisa Ling on the OWN channel, as seen at the Dream Machine USA.
Six-year-old Steve has been living in a tent in the woods of Central Florida for the last 2 years.
I deal with it by looking at it as a camping trip, just a really long one.
He keeps to himself. It's rough in the woods, especially in the heat of summer when tempers can flare.
I can count on maybe one hand the number of people that I actually talk to. Sometimes people get into arguments, people drink, it escalates into violence, it happens.
Steve had served nearly 6 years for his crime. He agreed to share his story.
The bugs are bad out here.
Yeah.
The guy out there said that the bugs have bones.
Yes, they do. Sometimes when you smack them, you feel them crunch.
I was surprised to find Steve had company. His 23-year-old wife, Christina.
You got married after you got out of prison?
Yes.
But you have to sleep here?
Yes.
How does that work?
It's trying at best sometimes.
How'd you get into this mess?
What, being on probation?
Nope. How'd you get arrested?
I was living in Jacksonville with a girlfriend of mine. She had 2 daughters, ages 6 and 10, and I molested them. Over the course of about 1.5 years, they performed oral sex on me periodically. It came to light with some family members, and police were involved. The warrant was issued. I turned myself in. That's about the size of it, really.
I mean, it's very difficult to hear about the crime, because it is vile, and I just want to understand that you knew it was wrong. How did it happen?
I can't really say that I've really come up with a clear answer. I don't think it was a desire to have sex with a small child. If I had to, I would just say that it was ease of opportunity for sexual gratification.
Were you drunk?
No, to be honest with you, no. I can't blame it on the alcohol or the drugs or anything like that. I mean, there was a lot of partying going on in my life at that time, but I can't say that there were any of the times where anything actually happened where I was intoxicated.
You knew what you were doing?
Yeah.
What Steve had just admitted, the things he had done, I couldn't understand them, or how his wife stood by him.
I've been with a lot of bad guys in my life, and he's the first one that has made me feel like I'm somebody, like I'm a woman, like I'm me. And all that won me completely.
Christina chose to let a sex offender into her life, but she wasn't alone. She had a 2.5-year-old daughter.
Do you trust your husband around your kid?
Absolutely. Yeah, I do. I do. At first, I didn't. What I said to him was, if you ever do anything to my kid, I'll kill you. I said, I'm giving you this chance. Respect me, respect my kid. And he's gone above and beyond for me. He's proved his trust to me, and there's nothing more to judge.
I know a lot of times victims in these types of cases, they feel like it's their fault, like they did something wrong. The blame falls solely on the perpetrator. We're adults. We have mature thinking. The children don't. And we're the ones to blame for it. I mean, I accept that blame.
Accepting the blame and the punishment that comes with it means Steve lives a kind of double life. Because the house he and Christina share is within 1,000 feet of an elementary school, Steve can't sleep there. His legal address is the woods. And like many sex offenders, he has a curfew of 10 p.m. At 6 in the morning, he's allowed to go home.
I don't like like being separated from my family, but I understand it's just how it has to be for right now, and I've kind of accepted that. Being a sex offender, coming out on the street, and finding a woman that is a mother, it definitely reasserts your faith in humankind and your faith in yourself as well. If you have somebody that's there to support you, it's easier for you to support yourself. Everything I love is right here. I go out there and I go to sleep and I get up and I come home to my family.
In this half of his life, Steve is a family man. He and Christina have a 7-month-old baby. But his other life as a sex offender is never very far away. He goes to therapy each week.
It helps you keep on track. You know, that a lot of us realize that what we did was wrong, we made a mistake, we did something we shouldn't have done, and we paid for our crime. We're just people that are just trying to pick up the pieces of our lives.
Do you think you're a dangerous person? Do you think you're dangerous around children?
I'm more dangerous to myself than I am to somebody's child. I made a vow when I was in prison wholeheartedly that if I ever found myself in a situation where I couldn't control myself from reoffending, I'd kill myself first. And I meant it.
Steve's word and commitment to himself are not enough for the law. To protect other children, he is bound by the rules that keep him living in the woods. Steve thinks these rules are useless.
A lot of these laws are put into place to keep tabs on us, to prevent us from reoffending. It's what they call a feel-good law. It doesn't really serve any purpose other than to give the public the illusion of safety. You know, and I've said it before and I'll say it 1,000 times again, no law that's in place, no law that can be put into place will ever prevent somebody from reoffending if they choose to reoffend. It's impossible. Short of keeping us in prison for the rest of our lives, that's the only surefire remedy to make sure that there's never a reoffense.
Fundamentally, I do believe that people can change, and I want to believe that people can change. But at the same time, I can't help but ask myself the question of, would I want to take that risk with my own kids? Like, as much as I do believe that Steve wants to change, would I want my daughters to live next to him?